Good morning from Lisbon and from a very beautiful sunny day. And in this video series I want to shoot different focal lengths. Now let me be more specific. I want to do each video dedicated to a specific focal length. It'll be wide angle, so 16mm or even below, and it'll even be super telephoto as well. However, for the first video in this series I want to start with a tried and tested 50mm. So on the Fujifilm it's a 33mm f1.4 full frame. It works out about 50 f2-ish, something like that. But anyway, in this video I'm going to literally spend a day walking around Lisbon and taking photos with this lens and giving you some commentary, giving you my thought process on why I'm taking that particular photo, what's interesting about that photo, and anything like that. Now, I know many people love to ask about camera settings. I'm roughly at f4. Obviously, if it gets very sunny, it can go to like f11, and if the light is not very good, or if I want a bit more background blur, I can drop down to f2 or f1.8. The rest of the camera is on automatic, so I have no control over the settings. So with that out of the way, I think that's it. I'm also with James Bopsis, who is over there somewhere taking photos. Okay, this video is sponsored by Squarespace, and let's go and take some photos of Lisbon. So about a minute ago there were some birds that were flying through that gap, and it'll be really cool to try and get that. In the meantime, there's this bird there, which is quite cool, but that's a very easy shot. So while we watch James walk up the slippery bit without falling over, hopefully we'll get one or two birds come through that gap, but we'll see. Or maybe one. We have James's face in the picture as well. Alright, now it's just time to play the waiting game. The ferries here look really cool because the ferry's catching the sun over there, but the background's really dark because there's a huge cloud over the bridge. And that looks really cool. I do wish I had a longer lens, of course, but it is a day using the 50mm, so 33 Fuji lens to be specific. So I'll probably have to crop this one in, but it's okay. It looks really cool from here. Yeah, really cool. I've walked past this mirror so many times. I mean, as you can see, it's a proper mirror. But I've never quite managed to get anything here. I mean, the composition, as you can see, is pretty cool, but you just need the right subject and the right light. So whether I'll be willing to wait for that, that's a whole different topic. I really like that corner there with the palm trees, and if I line up the tram line as well, that kind of looks okay. Yeah, I quite like that, kind of minimal and whatnot. Yeah, very good. Yeah, so many of these tram photos now that it's kind of just getting a bit silly. But the clothes at the top there, that's quite cool. You see, you got clothes hanging at the top there. That's pretty cool. Oh, that door's quite cool actually. So we've got the little old green door with the pegs. That looks really, smells of piss here, but that looks really cool. Shame about the bollard, but otherwise that. It's a pretty cool picture. I might have to do a lot of straightening. Yeah, I think that's potential. Right, back to where we were. I am also incredibly sleepy. I've not had a coffee yet or anything to eat because nothing is open yet. And it's crazy what a difference it makes. I mean, it took me like 4 attempts to film the intro for this video, even though it's not the most complicated thing to say. But yeah, I've got about half an hour before the cafe opens and I can actually think after. This is quite cool. We've got the cathedral, the red roofs, and the tree. Maybe something with a palm tree as well. It's filling up a bit too much of the frame, but nevertheless, God, I really need a coffee. Yeah, that'll do. That's quite cool with the chimney and the buildings behind it, although I think at 50 mil it's a bit too... Yeah, it's a bit too wide. There's too much mess in the bottom of the frame, so I think that will be a pass. That has potential, actually. Yeah, I think this has potential. Got the light at the top there. Got the light flooding in that street really nicely. And all you need is just a pretty clear scene. And something interesting to come down. Ideally kind of halfway up there. That would look pretty cool, I think. Whether it's a tram or just something interesting. I'm really happy with that, actually. I know it's a bit of a touristy photo, and I mean, I've taken this type of shot before, but I don't know, I don't really care about that. I just like taking pictures that look very nice, and in my opinion this looks very nice. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a James Bopsis in the wild, making sure he's actually got a photo to post on the internet.
Are we calling this the wild?
Yeah.
It's a really good coffee shop about 2 minutes down there.
There's 2 trees above you. It's basically like being on Everest, although Everest doesn't have trees. Never mind.
Need a coffee?
Yeah. Right, shame about the moped, but we can work with that. Where are they going to start? I am pretty sure that I'm just making up tram noises in my head. I'm certain I could hear a tram, and it's just nothing. I think I'm slowly going crazy. Not the first time. So here's a quick example of composition and how you can simplify a scene. I love that little red Suzuki Jeep, but there's a scooter behind it and it just looks a bit messy. So what I can do is actually use this wall here to try and hide part of it. And then if I move the focus point on the Jeep, like so, I'm creating a bunch of negative space, and it's simplifying the scene quite well. I don't know if you could see, in my opinion. There we go. That's one way to simplify a scene, by removing some of the noise that's on that side. Well, isn't it amazing what a difference a coffee can make? I feel brand new. I hopefully sound a little bit more interesting, and it takes me less time to think of what to say. What the hell is that? It's a tram. Anyway, let's carry on. There's some really nice light over there, and you can probably hear the tram coming behind me. So as it goes past, I'm going to jump out and try and get the back of the tram in that light over there. There it is. Now to stand. Hopefully. Oh, I think this angle that James has is a little bit better. I think it's still good enough. Don't bring a lowered car or a sports car here, because the under trays will get absolutely chewed up. There's a very nice looking old lady in there. I wonder where that lady's gonna go. Maybe. It's just those people walking to that door there. That's quite nice. That's a typical Sunday morning. James chasing old men around the street. Oh, there's a dog. That's a very nice scene. Very nice scene. I just love how the light comes through that gap, hits that tree, lights up the buildings, and just kind of spills out on the whole scene. There's a pigeon right up there. It'd be really cool if he or she or whatever the pigeon is just flies down through that gap. I mean, that's definitely wishful thinking, but you could probably imagine that would look quite cool. Alfama really is one of the best places to photograph in Lisbon. It's just mazes of these old narrow streets, detail everywhere. The light, as you can see, just floods in. I think if I had to just pick one place to shoot in Lisbon, it would be Alfama. And the area's quite big as well, so you can spend an entire day just walking around all the little streets. Of course, coming here in the morning is the best time. But yeah, what a wonderful place this is. No, that's absolute garbage. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. What I do like though, I'll go around, is there's a red fire hydrant right here. I like how the shadow cuts across. I think this is a really nice scene. I mean, I don't know if you could see on the back of the camera. James is still trying to work with the Coke can. I've given up on it, but he might get something.
No. Those stairs are cool though.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. And go for the Coke can one more time. Because I'm very original with my photography ideas. Okay, let's carry on. Spotted anything? Oh wow! Is that an orange tree? Oh wow, that looks so cool. As if they just plopped it there in the corner, just like that. So I like the fact there's a pigeon sat in that little square hole, one at the top, corner of the tree. Just really nice and like geometrical lines as well. I really like that. Such a cool shot. I'm gonna try a landscape. Yeah. Really cool. This is a really simple, cool scene.
If someone is, for instance, trying to trade in presets and rent it, and find out about it quickly.
Oi! That was a pigeon. I've named that correctly. Yeah, it's a really cool, simple scene. This little area is really cool here. Got amazing light on this corner, and you've got nice light on the back, and you've got the leading lines. There's definitely a cool picture here. It'll be a bit of a silhouette at the bottom, but I think it's really cool. Wait for something interesting to come through. I'm really tempted to send James down there and just rugby tackle her boyfriend out of the picture, because it'll be really cool if it's just her in a dress.
A lot of confidence in my rugby tackles.
I absolutely love all of these little old cars here. So cool. Actually, both of these are pretty cool. Two classics. Of course, the light's going to go in.
The light's kind of distracting actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
The hanging furs.
Alright.
Let me do it this way so I can get through.
So this is a classic example of not forcing a photo and not forcing a scene. So right at the top there is a towel hanging outside of a window. It looks really picturesque, and I would absolutely love to shoot it dead on. However, to get the best angle, I would really need to be standing up there and shooting directly across, which is of course not possible, at least not without knocking on the door and inconveniencing someone. So what I can do is stand here, shoot it like this, and then try to straighten it and force it to be of the correct perspective, but it's just not gonna look really good. However, if rather than forcing something that I physically can't achieve, I just work with this scene, stand at this angle where I can get slightly better composition, and okay, it's not what I intentionally or originally intended, but you can get something that's a little bit more natural and that's a little bit more pleasant without having to completely pull the photo apart. So even though it's not exactly what I wanted originally, it's still better than nothing, and it's a bit more of a natural photo than trying to force something that's physically not there. So whilst we're having a group of kids screaming down this area, There's a really nice spot just here, and you have the fire hydrant, you have the mosaic and the tiles, the nice door and the clothing hanging over there. Overall I think it looks like a really nice minimal scene. So yep, nothing special, wouldn't win any awards, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Hopefully you can hear that, because I can't really hear myself anymore. This is James Pops is slowly losing his mind whilst he waits for a pigeon, surrounded by screaming kids in the back streets of Lisbon.
It's all glamour.
And now we're heading to the elevator. I forgot the exact name, how to pronounce it, but I'll write it on the screen now. It's one of the most photogenic spots here near Chad. Definitely worth checking it out. Got the two people fishing there, stand in the middle. And they've got the kid there as well. That's really cool. Now, I don't know if you can hear me, because A, it's windy, but more importantly, there's this huge drone behind me, which is, of course, the bridge, if you can see that. So hopefully you can, but that noise is quite something. Anyway, we're by the bridge now, and the light is amazing. So we're going to spend the rest of the day now shooting around here. I mean, yeah, hopefully, can you hear me now a little bit better? Hopefully. So yeah, we're going to spend the rest of the day shooting around here. I think James is over there, he's already started. Yeah, the light is just incredible. There's sailing boats everywhere coming in. And yeah, it's really, really cool. So I'll show you a few clips and hopefully I can get something from here. So right here, you got this guy with a bicycle. Looks really cool, just the way the bike's bugged up, the way he's just sitting there reading. Yeah, I really like that scene, quite simple. I could work and try and get the bridge in there, but obviously on a 50mm lens it's quite difficult. So I'm just having the photo of him. Now, there's a fisherman here as well, but I think if I add him into the shot, it might just overcomplicate it. There's about 50 reflections here. So let's see. First I want to find the sun. So the sun is starting to set now, probably 5 minutes from setting. The clouds might catch, and we're trying to figure out where to go for that. But to be honest with you, I think with a strong sunset you kind of need to be at the right place to make the most of it. I don't think we are. However, we've been at the right place for many shots in the strip, so it's not a big deal. So I think for this one we might just watch it and just be like, oh, nice sunset, and go and get a big pizza. But if anything else happens, you'll see. If not, thank you for watching. I hope this video was interesting. I'm really not sure if I got anything good, but maybe. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As you can probably tell, I'm starting to get a bit tired and flag. Flying back to London tomorrow and looking forward to getting in my own bed after nearly 3 months of being on the road. So thank you again, and I'll see you soon. I want to take a moment and thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I've been using their services for over 5 years and I couldn't be happier with what they have to offer. I use Squarespace to publish my travel and photography blog, where I write about gear, travel, photography and more. I use them for my online store where I sell my presets, travel and camera guides. Squarespace is my photography portfolio where I showcase my best images from all of the travels and locations. All of this is under one roof with a great web interface and mobile apps to keep on top of everything regardless of where I am. If you're looking for the best all-in-one solution, then I can honestly recommend Squarespace. Please click on the link in the description and use the code RomanFox for 10% off. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.